Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the auction 51A, Hawthorn Grove in Hawthorn. My name is James Tostovan. I'll obviously be your auctioneer. I'm assisted by Michael Wood, Jack Steen and Zadie Reynolds. Welcome on behalf, and also Ash. Welcome on behalf of Marshall White, and good luck to those intending to bid on the property. The contract to sale, which has been on display all through ASA Company Marshall White, to offer you bidding on that piece of land, describe the attached copy of title. The volume number is 10041 40218. Together with any permits known as 51A, Hawthorn Grove and Hawthorn. The channels are standard. There's no exclusions to the normal channels. Next part of the contract calls for the normal 10% deposit, balance in 60 or 90 days or earlier or later by mutual agreement. The section 32, which accompanies and forms part of the contract, first and foremost of a title, which evidence is evidence right to sell, shows the land to be 940 square metres or just over 10,100 square feet. There's a non-contributory heritage which also exists for a property a couple of doors down, and you can see there's being a house being built a couple of doors down, but just be aware of that. There's no easements, no covenants. Vic Roads have no interest in terms of road widening, and there's no land tax payable on a single holding basis. By law, I must advise you the following: that today's auction will be conducted in accordance with the rules and also the additional conditions which have been on display prior to today's auction. The vendors do, of course, have a reserve price. As your auctioneer, I will indicate bidders on request. The law does stop any false bidding, any major disruptions by buyers, those try to stop others from actually bidding, and fines for such conduct. The rules do, of course, permit vendor bids. The words are used in the auction. If I do make a bid on behalf of the vendor, it's simply vendor bid, and by law, only the person as the auctioneer that can make a vendor bid. One key thing to listen to: if I do knock the property down under the fall of the contract and will be sold for that price, we can't reopen the bidding on a disputed bid. Well, ladies and gentlemen, one of the more deceptive properties I've had been able to offer to the market recently in terms of its size and style. It's a property which is way bigger than you'd imagine for the street, especially this two-storey addition. So many buyers have walked through the house and remarked or commented on the amount of accommodation, this brilliant living space, open plan, out to the north, beautiful old peppercorn right on the boundary, fabulous house for entertaining, as you can see, with its terrace area, of course the decking and the pool. It's an ideal family home, and again the land is certainly a lot bigger than again you'd immediately think from the street. I don't need to take you room by room, ladies and gentlemen, but it has got, as I said, ample accommodation. You've got the traditional formal rooms towards the front part of the house, one used as a library, and then this fabulous open plan living area. As you can see, it's presented in excellent condition, but it still allows you to put your own stamp on the property, further modernise, further enhance if you so desire. Our current owners have lived here for some time. It's been their family home, and time to scale down. They've enjoyed, of course, the position, and it's a wonderful one. Hawthorn Grove is one of the most highly regarded streets in Hawthorn. I'd say one of the more highly regarded streets in Boroondara. In fact, I would say in Melbourne. You mentioned Hawthorn Grove, Hawthorn. People know that the general calibre of properties in the street is certainly outstanding family homes. This certainly sits well amongst those properties. Having said that, there's real estate which is worth considerably more in the street, 7, 8, 9, 10 million and above. And certainly when you buy in a street like that, in this price bracket, that should give you enormous confidence. Tram at the foot of the street, local shops, cafes, restaurants, everyone's favourite real estate agent, Marshall White. We're just there, everyone. I know a couple of my competitors are really excited because I've said that because they're in the crowd. We are just a stone's throw away. The tram, the train, the schooling's area, the area is renowned for, of course, MLC. All these schools are just in the queue. But Xavier, Trinity, Kerry's accessible, down Glenfrey Road, of course, to Scotch. It's a wonderfully central part of Hawthorn. It's in a very, very prestigious and coveted street. So, ladies and gentlemen, this 1930s family home, whether you be looking from a land perspective, a house perspective, when I say it falls in a pretty affordable entry to Hawthorn Grove, I think you know what I'm talking about. There's some very, very substantial parcels of land and very substantial homes. And as I said, that's a great street to buy into. 51A presents a great opportunity for you this afternoon. So over to you now. Who'd like to call out a fair and reasonable start for 51A Hawthorn Grove? Call me on a start if you want. I've sold 3 out of 3. They've all started the same way. Dead silence. Everyone looks straight at the ground. I'm going to start it with a vendor bid of 3.7. I'll take a 25,000 rise. A vendor bid of 3.7 to kick us off. 25,000 rise anywhere. At $3,700,000. 25,000 rises. If you're here today to buy, please nominate a bid or call out a bid if I can't see. At 3.7. 3.7, 25,000 rises. At $3,700,000. 25,000 rises we're looking for. At $3,700,000. At 3.7. 3.7, 25s we're looking for. At $3,700,000. At 3.7. 25s anywhere. At $3,700,000. Once at 3.7. Twice at 3.7. Third and final call at $3,700,000. 25,000 rises. If you want to buy the property, ladies and gentlemen, it's pretty simple. You've got to bid at $3,700,000. At 25,000 rise. Well under land value, well under what you pay for a house in this great, beautiful tree line street at 3.7. At 3.7. 25,000 rises. You tuck around the corner. If I can't see you, call out to bids. $3,700,000. I'll call 3 more times. At 3.7, once, twice. Third and final call at 3.7. Another $25,000 at $3,700,000. At 3,725 now. At 3,725, the first bid feels like we're all going to the dentist. 3,725. 3,725, and I went there yesterday. So much fun. 3,725, the bidders at 3,725 we're away. At 3,725, 25,000 rises. Yep. 3.750 now. Next to Michael at 3,750 at 75 now. Saw that first at 75 at 3.8. 3.8's the bid. 3.8's the bid. 3.825. 3.825's the bid. 3 places principally. All very close together. Next to Michael at 3.825. Michael's right at 3.825. 3.825 is the bid. The bid's here. 50, can I say here or here? At 3.825 is the bid. 3.825 is the bid. Another $25,000. At 3.825, 25,000 rises. At 3.825, once, twice. Third and final call. The bid is right next to Michael at 3,825. Another 25, can I say? Or here a little earlier at 3.825. Another 25 at 50 now. 3.850. 75 at 3.875. 3.8 at 3.9. 3.9's a bid. 3.925. Next to Michael at 3.95. 3.95's a bid. 4 million would be the right bid. 3.950's the bid. Yep. At 4 million even. At 4,025,000. At $4,025,000. 4,025,000's a bid. 4,025,000 back behind Michael at 4,025,000. Yes. 4,050,000. Sorry, Michael, I saw the bid behind you first at 4,050,000. 4,050,000 at 75. 4,075,000. Amazing how the 3 bidders group, they're elbowing distance from one another. 4,075,000. $4,075,000. $4,075,000. 4 ones the bid we're looking for. 4,075,000 now. At 4.1. 4.1's a bid. 4.1's a bid. 4.125. 25 more, can I say? 25 it is at 4.150. 4.150 is the bid. At 4.150. Back behind the Navy cap at 4.150. 75 now at 4.175. 4.1 at 4.2. At 4.2. 4.2's the bid. 4.2's the bid. Navy cap again at 4.2. 4.2's the bid, ladies and gentlemen. $4,200,000. 4.2's the bid. Another $25,000. 4.2. Another 25. At 25 now. At 25 now. Just let me refer for instructions. Won't be long.
Why did they do those? Yeah.
Sorry?
I was looking at it.
Well, let's see. Yeah, it looks like
Like this.
let's see.
Would have been like at the beginning.
Bidding
I was
hot
like,
spots.
I don't go enough options. I don't know that this stuff happens. It was like 5 minutes, and she's like, sorry. What's happening now?
He's gone and stopped.
Yeah.
I don't know why it stopped right when it was.
Oh, because
It seemed like a weird time to stop. Just keep going.
whatever. Oh, okay. We did it though? I don't know. We know. Doesn't have sewing?
Okay, 4,225,000, so if you'd like to confirm your bid, we are selling one on the market. I've just told the vendor it was 3 bidders and she said only 3. I said 3's good, but there might be more, and there could be more over here. We're not so happy with the participation over this side, but feel free to join in.
It's all
The
family.
bidding's all over here at the moment. We are selling surf. There's no higher bid. At 4,225,000, we're at 25,000. We're on the market. We are on the market and selling at 4,225,000 at the moment. We're selling the property. There's no high bid. At 4,225,000, the bid's here. The striped shirt. Another 25 at the back. 10. I'll take 10. It's 35. I'll make it 50, sir. 35's a bid. 4,235. 4,235's a bid. We'll make it 50. 50 it is at 4,250, 10 again at 60, 4,260, 4.26, $4,260,000, 4,260 is behind Michael in the darker cap at 4,260. 4,260 is a bid still in 3 places at the moment. 4,260, $4,260,000, another $10,000 at 4,260. A moment to think, $4,260,000. Another 10 here, or here, at 4,260. Once! Twice! Third and final call. At 4,260. The bid is right at the back. At 4,260. Is there any advance, ladies and gentlemen, on 4,260? Another 10. The bid's here. At 4,260. I'm going to call 3 more times. If there's no further bid, we're going to sell the property at $4,260,000. A moment to think of the scarcity to get into Hawthorn Grove in this price bracket. North rear, 4,260, 940 square metres at $4,260,000. At 4,260, I'll call 3 more times. At 4,260, once, twice. Third and final call. Any more bidding, sir? At 4,260. Michael? Try. Try a little harder. At 4,260. Does anyone down the side want to join in? 4,260. Is there any bidding? Any more bidding, ladies and gentlemen? Before the contract, we'll be selling the property. Any more bidding, sir? Just want to make sure, because when the contract hits my hand, there'll be no second chances. So please be aware of that. At 4,260, the bidding's right at the back with a darker cap at $4,260,000. Another 10,000 at 4,260. I'm going to call 3 more times at $4,260,000. Once, twice. Third and final call at $4,260,000. We're about to sell. The property is going. It's going, and it is sold. Thank you very much for being in attendance. Congratulations to the purchaser. If you'd like to make your way down the west side of the house as opposed to through the house, that would be appreciated. The side is open. Thank you very much.
Over.
Yeah. I studied fine arts. I launched my own business through that. So it's a little bit different from fine arts, but yeah. Yeah. And you're selling